Well guys, I know a lot of you were wondering what was going to replace the TEs, and I finally have them mounted on my car ready to go. A lot of you guessed right, but for those of you who are wondering, here you go, here's my new wheels. Well guys, we did it. We finally got E88s on the M3 and I'm just so ecstatic. I am so happy. I wouldn't have thought in a million years, one, that I'd even owned this car, which is my dream car, and two, that I would have E88s on my dream car. It's like almost my dream spec. I'm freaking over the moon. I'm so happy. But here you go. Here's a closer look. It's been a few days since I put them on. Haven't had a lot of time to film. But here you go, here's an up close look on the wheels. So I went with a basically exact same spec as I had on my TE37s. And that's because I kept the tires that were on the TE37s. So they're expensive to replace, and I want to spend that extra money, and the tires are great. So I just sold the wheels by themselves and I put the tires on. So that would be a 9.5 front and a 10.5 in the rear. Fitment is spot on. There's room for a small spacer here, which I will do just for now. That's how it looks. So obviously it can come out a little bit. I don't want to be too aggressive up here because these fenders are plastic. They break easily, like all the time. So for now, this is fine. I'll get a spacer in there soon to space it out. So it's 18 by 9.5. This is a 2-inch lip in the front. And the offset is the same as the last set of wheels, which would be plus 22 up here. You can see it clears the brakes just fine. I'm still working on getting those painted black. I just removed the yellow paint myself. There'll be a video on that later. But yeah, that's the front. Here's a look at the rear on the 315 tire. Back here we have a 2.5-inch lip. It looks insane on the 315 tire. So 2.5-inch lip here. It's a 10.5, so 18 by 10.5 plus 20 should be the offset. I could be off by 1. It might I might be like 19 or 20. I don't remember, but that's basically the offset there. So yeah, it looks great. Now, one thing that you might notice if you're like a E88 expert, unless you're like me and you were just learning as I went along, these E88s are actually a little bit different than the ones you commonly see on E92 M3s or E46s. Any M3 that usually has E88s, it's slightly different, and I'll show you right now the little difference from my 88s versus the ones you see like 99% of the time. The first major difference is that these are called rear mounted, which means the front, the lip goes over the face. Usually, I can't show you because it's behind the wheel, but usually the face will sit over the lip. So where all this polished lip, you can see where the hardware is, all this spot, usually that's still part of the face, and it has like a little roller coaster loopy loop design that goes like that over all the hardware, and then the hardware goes through that. So these are rear mounted, meaning you just see the face and then the lip goes over it. So you see more of the lip than you have the polished hardware over the polished lip. It looks really good. And I actually wasn't expecting that at first when I got these wheels, because I got them through a friend of mine. Oh, my roommate's here. You're in my YouTube video. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Ronnie has ZE40s, right?
Yes, sir.
That go perfectly with the gray on his car. So like I was saying a second ago, I didn't know that these were gonna be rear mounted until I actually went in person to pick up the wheels. And at first I didn't know how to feel about it, but now that it's all built together, I absolutely love it. And on top of that, I kind of like that it's different than everything else you see. Oh, the second main difference is that this is the type of E88 that will take a center cap and does not have a very recessed lug pocket. So as you can see here, yeah, it goes in like all wheels do, but the motorsport ones that you see that are usually mounted normally above the lip have like a really deep lug pocket that goes like really far into the hub, and it doesn't take a center cap unless you have like this weird adapter, because there's like a huge hole in there and it just like sinks in. This is more like, to me, an OEM looking E88. And again, I didn't even know it was going to be these until I went in person, and the fact that it's like the OEM style looking E88 that takes the center cap perfectly. You have the polished lip over the face on the polished hardware, and then of course I had to get black with gold. It just goes perfectly with the jet black paint, and I'm just totally in love, you guys. It's absolutely amazing. It looks killer. You know, that was kind of the same concept I went with when I got the white TE37s. Yes, there's a ton of M3s with white TE37s, and there's even a black M3 owned by a friend of mine that has white TE37s, but his was an E90, a four-door. So when I had my white TEs on the black, jet black E92, I was like the only one that I could think of all throughout social media around town. And this is kind of the same thing. Silver is not unique. It's like the most common E88 next to gold. The fact that it's a rear mounted, it's an 18-inch, the way that it's all built with the center cap and everything, I just love it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not one of one impossible rare spec that no one else has, but it's something that's different than like 99% of the E92s you see with E88s. And that's not a diss on anyone that has E88s. I'm always wanting to do something that's a little different, and it looks absolutely killer, you guys. Just look at it. I'm so in love. Oh man, so happy with it. So happy with it. So yeah, that's basically the details about it, you guys. Yeah, I don't know what else to say in the video. Super happy. Originally I wanted black E88s, and I bought these thinking that one day I would change them to black, but the more and more that I look at it with silver on black, honestly don't think I'll ever go black. And if I do, I'm gonna have to buy a second set of E88s so I can have black and silver. But yeah, guys, that does it. More things to come. I still haven't put on new wing gaskets. I still haven't changed the brake colors. Lots of other things that I need to do to the M3. I might even go fishbowl and take all the tints off. I want to get seats, steering wheel, all that stuff. You know, I got to work hard. I have to keep budgeting for that kind of stuff. So if you're in it for the long haul, stay subscribed. Follow me on Instagram at sam.cff. Keep up to date with my car and all the updates that I do with it. Just keep in touch with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.